we talked about this toxic thing, and how I'm going to talk about that later on in the week as far as this they're canceled, that dumbass saying, and what it means, and how it really is it's a mirror reflection of where we are in a generation with the social media, and how you can just literally, she says you need a podcast. What do you think I'm recording, sweetheart? You're looking at the AwareWolvvves podcast right now. It's recording me right here. I got the microphone, boom, right there. If you would like to sign on and get all the episodes, patreon.com/Khleo Thomas. You can sign up, get the AwareWolvvves podcast, brand new episode every single Monday. This is what you're watching, sweetie. Now you know. We talked about the toxic thing, and that's really something I'm on this currently in my life, because I've seen certain instances where I've let it happen to myself, and I thought, you know what, this may be something for me to speak on because I've suffered from it. And that's to stop giving toxic people control. Now, I said that, and then I came back and let people know that, hey, I know when I said that message the first time, a few of you guys already had the person who was toxic in your mind. You already had this image of exactly who was causing you these thoughts and these feelings. They were toxic to you. You already had that feeling. You had that vision in your head. And then I thought about it for a second. I was like, how many people are flying underneath the radar by being toxic, but they're hiding behind this label or this anti-cloaking device of friendship and family? And like I said, that's not to say that you don't appreciate them. It's not to say that you don't love them very dearly, that if they needed something that you would be there for them. But it seems that it's not a two-way street in a lot of instances for a lot of people. There are a lot of toxic friends. There are a lot of toxic family members. And you have to find a way to do your best to handle it early, or start handling it, because it's only going to be a burden to you. It's the truth. And then, like I was saying, it's not to say you don't care about them, that you don't love them, that you don't respect them. They're great for when they're great, but they're also bad for when they're bad. Okay? Let's just be real. Let's just be honest. That's just how it is. And it sucks for me. I don't feel great telling someone to look at their family, certain family members in that way, but let's be honest. There are a lot of people with some messed up families out there. There are a lot of people with an overbearing mother or father, or blame throwing a sibling like that. That exists. That does exist. And if they are not, here we go. Time out. I wrote these down because I want to be real with this. Here are some toxic traits that you may not realize that are happening around you. So just in case this could help you. Let's see. Here's one of them. Manipulation. Manipulating. A manipulative person. Someone who knows you in and out, knows how to push your buttons, knows how to pull the strings, and can literally have you doing whatever they say. They're literally telling you something that's probably not facts, probably not the truth of what they actually even want you to do for face value. But they've already plotted 3 steps ahead to know that, you know what? I'm going to make sure that they don't do that. I'm going to make sure that they never start feeling themselves that much. I'm going to make sure that they do never feel that they're accomplished this, that, and the other. I'm going to stop all that right now. Manipulation. People are I'm telling you, I've dealt with it. There are some manipulative people in the world who will play victim when you approach them on something. Who will use that line of open communication between you and them to just slowly but surely pull your ass in. Slowly but surely. And then as soon as they got you close enough, all that string they used, they wrapping it around your neck and hanging your ass up, straight up. I'm telling you, I've dealt with it, and I know it's out there. Dude, it's out there. Trust me, you can see the signs. Look for them. So that's one. Another one, judgmental. Okay, I'll be honest. I'll be completely honest. I grew up being a very judgmental person. I wasn't raised like that. I promise you, my parents and my family, they didn't raise me judgmental. But when I got into the industry and I started seeing certain things that I wasn't raised like, I looked at it sideways. I was a very judgmental kid growing up. As I've gotten older, I've realized that that's not the best mind state to have, because there's free will. People are free to do whatever the hell they want. That's one. 2, you never know what someone's been through or what someone's going through. So that plays a part in being non-judgmental. as I've gotten older, I've definitely taken on the trait of being a lot more understanding and a lot more, nonchalant toward people who either are going through something or have been through something. I used to not care to want to interact with anyone who, in a sense was using their past mistakes or whatever the past they were going through to be a crux in a conversation with me. Like, yeah, well, I went through this, I've been through this. And it's like, okay, so has everyone, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the person I was. And I would not want to have any type of communication with them after that. And I realized that it wasn't the best thing to have. I wanted to be a little bit more understanding to the world. I felt it was the only way for me to grow as a person. And when I made that decision, I'm happy I did. It has backfired on me in certain ways. I've let a lot of certain things fly underneath the radar because of being a little too... there's just two extreme things with me. I just had the conversation this weekend. I like to think of things in black and white. I really do sometimes. But I sometimes forget that there's gray. There is a gray area, and everyone has to understand that. It's the truth. It's the God-honest truth to the world. You want to think of the world as just black and white, but I promise you, there is a gray area in there. You have to take that into consideration sometimes. Just saying. Just saying. So take it how you want it. Another toxic person trait, they don't apologize. I was never that person. I know that's being honest for you guys. I was never a person who wouldn't apologize. If I know I messed up, I'm gonna apologize. I had no issue apologizing. But I know some people who will flip the whole narrative on you to be like, I mean, well, I guess, but it's because of you. It's because of these reasons that I did that. It's because of you. You made me do this. You caused me to do this. And I'm like, so you mean to tell me your reaction, which you can control, caused you to do it? And I'm sorry, I don't understand the value. Like, how can you can't grow with a person like that. You can't. They're literally going to step to the plate consistently and choose to play the blame game, and the arrows are never pointing at them. They're always pointing at you, even when they're in the fault. Come on, bro. That's a toxic person 100%. And maybe maybe they're toxic for right now. Maybe they'll grow out of it. Who knows? But when you start realizing your own self-worth, and when you start realizing you need to go on this journey of internal growth to figure yourself out and figure out what the future that you would like to build for, like even just you, not the future for you and your boyfriend, or your future for you and your girlfriend, or your significant other and your wife, and any of that, for the person that you want to be, that person is not an asset to your life. They're not. They're not. I'm sorry if that's rough, if that's a little too harsh. I don't care. I'm going to tell you the truth. They're not an asset to you. They're not. So take that into consideration when you making your next moves. And one of the last toxic traits I want to talk about is they do not care about what's important to you. I've seen this happen a lot. I've dealt with it as well. We all got dreams. We all got aspirations. We all got goals. If you have a friend or family member who is not enthusiastic about anything that you're doing, and you're not saying that you want your butt kissed for all the things that you're trying to do, but it always feels good to accomplish something and knowing that there were people by your side rah-rahing you to get to that level. It makes the journey a little less hard. It does. It's the truth. But there are some people who are going at it in this world with no backing, no help, no friends that are looking out to say, hey, I'm proud of you. None of that. And that's not to say that they probably don't care, but in honesty, it's probably that's a jealousy thing. They wish they had that amount of freedom. They wish they had the ability to, stick to a plan. And you're probably one of those people in their lives that are sticking to that plan. Give you an example. I've only seen this. This has happened to me maybe twice in my life, but I've seen it happen to other people where you'll be out somewhere, or you're doing something, you're focusing on something that you want to do, and you'll get a phone call, and it's your friend, and your friend is like, "Hey man, what's up? What you doing?" And you're like, "Man, shit, working on this stuff, man, working on this next thing. What you up to?" I mean, shit, doing this thing or whatever. For sure. What you got planned for the rest of the day? Shit, man, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out, man, Oh, okay, for sure. Yeah, man, I'm just editing these videos and writing down these concepts, things like that. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what up. Hey, man, so did you do you know who this girl is? Or do you know who this guy is? Hey, man, have you seen this video? Have you seen this? Have you seen that? Yo, you remember this one time? You remember how we used to do this? What in the blue hell that got to do with what the fuck I was just told you that I was doing? Not a damn thing. And that's not that. Maybe I'm exaggerating by calling that a toxic trait, but you have to take that into consideration just a little bit. You were called, you were working. This person is adding no value in the moment of you working to succeed. You don't have to look at that just a little bit sideways. I would. I got to look at it just a little bit like, I just told you what I was doing. Why are you asking me this right now, dog? Not worth it. Not worth it. You got to take these things into consideration, ladies and gentlemen. You have to. You have to, man. Look, I know we're all out here trying to figure it out, and it's the truth. We are. Like, no one has it all together. Even the top guys are waking up every single day trying to figure out what's their next steps. What are they planning next? You got to be on your game, and you have to be figuring it out. You can't just go through life willy-nilly. That was, in my opinion, that was the that was the old era. That was the Woodstock and hippie era of people who were just like, hey, man, I'm just going to go with the flow, man. I'm just going to figure it out, bro. You know, just peace and love, man. Let's stop the war, man. That was then. And even those same people who were saying it then woke the hell up and then figured out, man, life is real out here. I'm going to have to figure out how to pay some of these bills, bro. I'm trying to do some other things in life, too. Like, don't get me twisted. Woodstock was great. There was drugs. There was women. There was music. It was all amazing. And then what? You got to figure it out. You can't be out here willy-nilly with the gang, bro. You can't. Especially my gang. I mean, I take my business and the people around me very serious. I cannot have anything or anyone around me that is removing me from the path that I would like to stay on. We got to get this shit together. We got to keep this shit booming. I want the next level and the next level and the next level and the next level. And I'm willing to work my ass off. And I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of people out there with the same type of mind state, but they're allowing a toxic environment to hold their feet to the ground. They are literally allowing these shackles to just drown them at the bottom of the ocean. Has to stop. You got to wake up. You got to break free. And that's not to say you don't love and appreciate them, but at this moment, when the things that you want to build, I'm sorry, they are not an asset to you. Y'all can still be friends. Y'all can kick it every now and then. Y'all can maybe do a FaceTime call, throw each other in a group text, but they're not an asset to what you're trying to build. They got to go. Straight up. Keep that in mind, man. Keep that in mind. Yo, what's going on? It's Khleo Thomas, a.k.a. Mr. Slick Living. If you enjoyed this clip of the AwareWolvvves podcast, make sure you sign on to patreon.com/Khleo Thomas and pledge today so you can have access to the full episode.